There are in our world people who we might call spiritual helpers. Spiritual helpers are like guardian angels in physical form. They are real life people like you and me, only they are determined to send a message to our world, and especially to those who are stepping off on the spiritual path. This is one of the biggest responsibilities of spiritual helpers. They want to send their messages far and wide, and particularly to those who, having embarked on a spiritual path, are now wondering if it makes sense to take this path, or if it really works. Let me explain. Anyone who starts off on a spiritual path is likely to become discouraged. The path to one's own inner being can be long and arduous, filled with obstacles and setbacks. The path to God can be difficult to find. That is why the path to divine awareness, divine wisdom, and divine experience is the road less traveled. Anyone who has embarked on this path knows what I am talking about. The path can also be exhilarating and uplifting and deeply inspiring. It can be expanding and enlarging and enhancing. But this path will be by no means traversed without challenge. It will require caring and courage and commitment to walk the path. First, we must care for ourselves and for others and for life itself and for God. These things must matter to us. That may seem like a strange thing to say, so let me give you an example of what I mean, so that you can understand why I am saying something like this. When we eat well, when we don't smoke, when we stay away from alcohol or drugs, when we get plenty of exercise, in short, when we take care of our physical selves, we demonstrate that we care. When we meditate, when we nurture our soul, when we nourish our mind, in short, when we take care of our spiritual selves, we demonstrate that we care. We care for ourselves and others. We care for ourselves enough to take care of ourselves. And we care for others by remaining healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually, so that those who care for us can be rewarded by our continued happy presence in their lives for many years. When we treat ourselves badly, when we neglect ourselves, we are as much as saying to those around us, I know you are my loved ones, my family and my friends, but I'm going to pay very little attention to the health of my physical or spiritual body. I may even do things that cause me to leave my body much earlier than I might otherwise have had to, because I don't care if you care for me and want me around longer. Your caring for me does not matter enough to me for me to care for myself. Of course, nobody would actually say such a thing to family and loved ones. Yet, actions speak louder than words. So, caring is the first step on the road to mastery. It is the first step on the path. Then comes courage. It takes courage to care, because it requires us to do things we don't want to do, or to stop doing things that we do want to do. This means saying no to ourselves, and that takes courage. It also means saying no to the world, and that takes courage as well. The world around us is built on a system of short-term gratification. We are invited at every turn to indulge ourselves, to gratify our whims, to satisfy our base physical desires, no matter what the cost to ourselves or others. Yet, Short-term gratification is not what we're here for. It is not the experience that we came to the earth to have. We came to this planet as spiritual beings with a body, and we came here for spiritual reasons. These involve the use of our physical body for sure, but not the misuse of it, and certainly not the abuse of it. It takes courage to buck the system, to just say no. It takes courage to tell ourselves even, no, that's not good for you, or no, this will hurt others. This kind of self-direction and self-correction takes courage. We would all much rather follow our base instinct, our love of power and our desire to satisfy the senses, no matter what. It also takes commitment, the third step on the path. It's one thing to have the courage to say no to that piece of chocolate cake or that second helping of mashed potatoes the first time, but it takes commitment to keep saying it no. It takes courage to say no to that cigarette the first time, but it takes commitment to keep saying no to it. It also takes commitment to say yes to certain things. It takes commitment to say yes to daily exercise, to say yes to daily meditation, to say yes to our higher selves when our higher selves are telling us every day how we can travel the path if we really want to. For all these reasons, anyone who starts off on the spiritual path is likely to become discouraged, at least at first. That is where spiritual helpers come in. You can be a spiritual helper. Perhaps you already are one. You can send a message to others in 100 ways. People are watching you all the time. Model the behavior you would recommend they embrace. People are listening to you all the time. Say the words that you would have them hear if you thought their lives depended on those words, because they do. There are many ways that you can do this. If you have read Conversations with God, and if its message has changed your life, you can change the lives of others by passing that message on, by sharing it with others, by helping to make it available to all the world. That is the work of the Recreation Foundation. I hope you will support that work. I hope you will become a spiritual helper and send a wonderful message to our world, about our world, and about God. Be sure that you send the main message of Conversations with God and the new spirituality. Ours is not a better way. Ours is merely another way to find God. Otherwise, you could fall prey to the temptation of making Conversations with God the one and only way, and that would be just the opposite of what Conversations with God invites us all to experience. Love and hugs, Neale. This was a message of Neale Donald Walsch, read for you by Adriana.